The Area 51 raid set to take place September 20th, 2019 is going crazy. Everything's blowing up about it. And the interesting part about this, we all know how Facebook likes to censor people's voices. They close down groups. You know, if you talk about alternate healing stuff or whatever, they've been shut down. But they haven't shut down this Facebook event for this Area 51 raid. Now, if the government was really concerned about it, which, you know, they're in bed with Facebook, they could easily call up Mark Zuckerberg and say, hey, take that off right now. And, you know, damn well he'd, oh, yeah. But it's not. It's getting pushed, and it's getting pushed. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, so many articles on the news cycle covering it. CNN, Fox News, the whole 9 yards, local channels covering this thing. And part of me thinks that, you know, maybe it started out as a joke. They interviewed the guy, which his name escapes me at the moment. They interviewed him. You know, it could have started out as something legit like that, but then maybe the government's like, oh, you know what? We could actually use this to our benefit to help the disclosure thing that they're trying to do. What better way to do that? Area 51. How many people talked about Area 51? They were laughed at. It doesn't exist. It's admitted to exist now. The government officially disclosed it in 2013. So not even really that long ago when you look at the scope of it. It's been around like forever. So this news article here, and another key player in this, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than George Knapp. Now, George Knapp was also on the To the Stars Academy Unidentified Stuff show, and kind of gets me wondering about what side he's really helping, who he's working for, because I always thought that he was kind of an independent guy, but I kind of think that he is being led to do this for the government, if you will. So I'm going to play this clip. This is very, very interesting how this is laid out, because he's basically just endorsing the whole thing. And if you want to come visit.
A couple of different locations are in the mix as gathering places for the big Area 51 shindig on September 20th. But a word of warning, some of them aren't really close to Area 51. The Alien Visitor Center is in Amargosa Valley. It was mentioned on the original Storm Area 51 Facebook post. That's right there. And it's next door to a alien cat house, which is a legal brothel that sells gifts of a different kind. But that location is on the far western side of the sprawling Nevada National Security Site, not really near Area 51. The extraterrestrial highway, that's up here. That's Highway 375. You it's on the other side of the test site to the north. It starts in this area near Hyco, and right there is the Alien Research Center. We've mentioned that in some of our reports. It's a gift shop. It's a business. It's
if you wish to visit.
A day-long series of events on the 20th. And then as you travel westward, you'll pass by Groom Lake Road. You see it's a long dirt road that leads to the base. And,
it leads you right to the base.
Going up Highway 375 to the tiny community of Rachel. That is home to the Little Ailey Inn, which hosts its own events and is providing a camping area on the 20th. Rachel is the closest settlement to Area 51. It has about 50 residents, limited services, no gas station. The ET Highway continues up north.
Plan accordingly.
Up there to Highway 6 at Warm Springs. And if you're looking at this on Google Maps, they've gotten in on the fun. If you pull the Street View guy onto any of these things in the area of the Nevada National Security Site, it turns the icon into a flying saucer. So someone at Google has a sense of humor.
So very interesting newscast there, because if you don't want people to go there and storm it, this is basically kind of an endorsement. And even some of the comments were interesting that I was reading the other day. One guy in the comments section here says, finally a good tutorial on how to raid Area 51. Like I said, it's kind of an endorsement. Like, oh yeah, let's get this thing going. If you want to go up here, you can fill up. You can't fill up with gas here. You can stay over here if you want, or this other place. And it's turning out to be a big bash, as this next video will show here as well. Let me add up for you.
January, a man was shot and killed when he drove onto the Nevada National Security Site, which is a separate facility not related to Area 51.
But it appears the U.S. Air Force is taking these threats seriously.
The Pentagon has already issued a stern warning to would-be intruders. Lincoln County business owners say they've been told Area 51's already formidable security systems will be beefed up even more for the upcoming event, as will local law enforcement.
I mean, I know they'll be here. They'll come out. I'm sure everybody will be on alert that night.
Connie,
That's the other thing too. They have plenty of time to prepare for this. You know, couple months advance notice. Hey, let's use this to our advantage for the disclosure movement that we're trying to push here. They got time to move anything sensitive out. I don't even think they would have to do that. You got to keep in mind Area 51 is about 150 square miles. Huge. Even if you walked it, it would take you quite a while to get there. So,
Little Alien in Rachel will be one of the gathering sites. She's clearing 30 acres of land so visitors can park or camp. Several bands have offered to perform. On the other end of the ET Highway at the Alien Research Center near Hyco, ambitious plans are in the works, but storming Area 51 itself is not in the cards.
The United States military is going to put up with zero nonsense. They will put up with no nonsense whatsoever.
Harris has met with law enforcement and with other Lincoln County businesses to prepare for an influx of as many as 10,000 visitors in the rural community. He's already taken more than 3,000 requests from people who plan to park their RVs or vehicles. He's arranged for a large stage that can accommodate speakers, music acts, and film presentations being planned, and has contracted for security, water and food trucks, and porta potties. Local businesses hope visitors will fan out to see the natural beauty of rural Nevada, as well as the event itself.
We have some really great big surprises of very important people that are going to come up.
At the end of the day, it was an idea that I had for my meme page.
Matty Roberts, the young man whose Facebook satire ignited the social uproar, is featured in a new video interview released by Newsweek magazine. Roberts is once again emphasizing that no one should try to enter Area 51, but he's hoping the public will focus instead on pressuring the government to end secrecy about UFOs. Instead of a 3 a.m. invasion of the base, organizers have planned a 2-day festival of games, art, music, and speakers aimed at putting pressure on the Pentagon to come clean on what it knows. Other websites have picked up on that theme as well, and satellite events are planned elsewhere.
That's huge right there, that statement. Get the public to push the Pentagon to talk about UFOs. What are they, to the Stars Academy, been trying to do? Get that exact scenario to happen. And they're, of course, if it's the government's disclosure, this is a perfect event to do that.
Including a viewing party at the soon-to-open Area 15 entertainment complex in Las Vegas. No one expects 1 million people, but it could be something akin to Burning Man for UFO activists, Alien Woodstock.
Everything's going really well. We want to make sure that this is safe. Number one, for anything is safe, because a lot of people are going to show up.
Capitalism at its finest, folks. Might as well capitalize on it, right? No pun intended. So, yeah, I actually think that the government's endorsing it. Like I said, they got time to prepare, and maybe they'll actually fly one of the craft over at night to get the public, the audience that'll be there, to be like, oh, what was that? You know, that's an excellent idea to do it. Like I said, I don't see anybody storming the base. It would be a hell of a walk. But, you know, if you took a vehicle in there or whatever, if everybody was able to coordinate and group walk in there, which I'm sure they wouldn't be able to do, but if they did, I don't see them committing slaughter like that. It would be like the biggest like genocide in history, because we're talking like 1 million to 2 million people, maybe. You know, maybe even if you had 500,000 show up, but it would definitely not be good. Of course, Fox News also keeps covering it too. We got Arby's promised to bring meat to Area 51. Aliens deserve the best meat on Earth.
Gay!
So, yeah, it's all there. they're all jumping on board. I think even Budweiser is they made a special can for it. In a way, it's kind of cool. But like I said, if you can have the public outcry for disclosure, and that's exactly what the government wanted to do, what better way to do it than this? You know, you were called nuts before for talking about Area 51. Now it's like, wow, you know, to see this where it is today is insane. So I want to cover one more fun little thing before we end up.
Excuse me.
Because I thought this was interesting. It does tie in to the alien Area 51 raid, if you will. This gentleman here is going to offer alien abduction insurance for sale for those who get in but don't come out. A company in the United States is offering insurance in the eventual case of an alien abduction, and the firm has just added Area 51 coverage in light of Facebook's event. Got to get the insurance in there, folks. Let's play this clip. This was an older clip because he had this thing going on a long time ago. And now he's just offering the Area 51 coverage for those who want it.
You probably already have car insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, maybe even flood insurance here in Florida. But who are you going to call if somebody short, green, and with a pointy head shows up in your bedroom and takes you for a ride? UFO abductions have been really hot since the X-Files hit the air, and now you can, honest to goodness, buy an insurance policy that promises to pay you $10 million if you can prove you've been kidnapped by aliens. So as they say,
Good luck.
Don't leave Earth without it. Please welcome the man who writes these policies, Mike St. Lawrence of the Lawrence Agency, right here in Florida. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity to tell your listeners about our coverage.
Yeah, your coverage. So this is for real. How much does it cost to buy an alien policy?
We offer a $10 million policy with $20 million double indemnity, should there be extenuating circumstances, for the single lifetime premium of $19.95.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, we
actually.
think it's pretty reasonable. We want to make it so that almost anyone can afford this. Most people that purchase this policy, however, don't purchase it for themselves. They buy it for someone else.
As a joke or for real?
Well, that's up to them. They buy it for someone else, but they name themselves the beneficiary.
Oh, I see.
So it goes to show you that greed and avarice are still running rampant in our society.
You've actually had a couple people, well, first of all, you sold a lot of policies. I mean, for real, you're
We
selling.
started it actually in 1987. And back when a book came out by an author named Whitley Strieber.
Oh, right.
It's a very popular book called Communion.
Right, I remember that.
And it was the first time that I had heard of this phenomenon, and I went and I checked my homeowner's policy to find out if I was covered for a risk like this. And
You weren't.
I wasn't. And so, along with a group of concerned friends and a strong group of Japanese investors, this is back when they had money. Okay, we formed the UFO abduction insurance company back then.
Yeah.
Since then, we have way over 5,000 policyholders
Really?
all over the globe, too.
Now, you have
5,000.
paid off once. You had
Actually,
a guy
we've approved 2 claims.
approved 2 claims. How does somebody have to prove a claim?
Well, each policy comes with a claim form. And on the claim form, we ask for specific information about the aliens, where they're from, what kind of spacecraft type they have. Also, personal information about the abductee, name, address, so, not social security number, but if they're a frequent flyer or not, we like to know that.
Frequent flyer.
Right, there's a lot of people that do this more than once.
yeah, I guess
and
so.
we do have a frequent flyer exclusion in our policy, by the way. It limits the benefits to 1 occurrence per policyholder.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But we get that basic information, and then the most important thing we require is a description of the abduction itself and a signature of an authorized on-board alien.
That's tough.
We have to have something.
Okay.
to
So
prove.
and you know, 2 people have acted.
So yeah, it goes on and on. It is kind of a satire thing, but so he did have to pay one out, you know, at $10 million. But you got to read the fine print on these scam artists, and it is, you know, it's kind of a fun thing or whatever. But people pay this guy. So he's required to pay $10 million out, but he's only doing $1 a year. So, and people still like, there are people calling to the show and say, oh, it's a good idea. It's like, did you just listen to that statement that he had? So think about this. He said he sold over 5,000 policies. That was back then. At 1995, you're talking about close to $100,000, folks, for this whole scam, if you will. And it is kind of fun, but at the same time, it's like, wow. So now he's doing the Area 51 thing to revamp this up. But that's how it goes, and people can. I guess he says he does everything that he's legally abided to do. So website's here. I'll bring it on screen. You can tell this website's legit too, just looking at this thing. Doesn't that look like a real legit insurance company site? The fine prints down here. Take the Texas IQ test. Do you have a sense of humor? ? Do you take this coverage seriously? ? Were your parents related before they were married? ? If you answered yes more than once, you do not qualify. So, yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. But I thought it was funny just to the end of that. And, this stuff happens. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for joining me. I will have one more live show before I head out to Gillen's Ranch in Trout Lake. Going to go see some UFOs over there. And I do plan on live streaming from there. Also capturing some videos and hopefully getting an interview with James as well over there. Yeah, so also a bunch of viewers I want to talk to you guys as well. You're going to come out there and join us. So looking forward to that. Can't come soon enough. So Dan Hohlfeld sending out. Talk is cheap. See you guys later.
Thanks for listening. Visit K2D4Network.com today.